There are two absolutely awesome pieces of DLC available for Bioshock Infinite already. Now, I'm not talking about expansion packs or anything like that. I'm talking about the pre-order Industrial Revolution DLC, and I'm talking about the early bird DLC that came with this season pass. These come with exclusive gear, exclusive weapons, and other exclusive bonuses, and I'm just going to be doing a quick overview as to what they are, how they work, and what kind of cool features it gives you. So let's get discovering. Okay, so here we are in the Blue Ribbon Restaurant, because this is where you pick up the awesome items for the two pieces of DLC that we're going to be looking at today. And the Blue Ribbon Restaurant is right near the start of the game, just before you get your shield, or just when you get your shield. And you can actually add these items at any point, they're just automatically added to your inventory. But if you don't have them here, if you come into the Blue Ribbon Restaurant, you'll see the restaurant is now absolutely full of lovely, lovely goodies. The Industrial Revolution DLC you had to get from a pre-order. They have said that it will be available for separate purchase at some point. The early bird DLC I bought today, 6th of April, by buying this season pass, so if you don't have that one yet, you can still get it, certainly on Steam, but Industrial Revolution, you'll have to wait for them to release that separately. So we've got loads of bits of gear to look at, and we've got loads of other things to check out here. So our first piece of gear is called Sugar Rush, and this is in the Industrial Revolution DLC, and it's quite simple. After eating a snack, you will move 50% faster for 3 seconds. Now, I don't think that's going to be a massive game-changing piece of equipment, but I suppose if you're in the middle of a firefight and you grab something and you want to run, it can be useful. But look at this one. Again, Industrial Revolution Handyman Nemesis increases the damage against Handyman by 50%. So if you're using a high power weapon, any kind of damage increase will be brilliant, but especially against those nasty bosses, could be useful. 500 coins there, just picked up, or 500 silver eagles. Very, very nice. And then we've got the Fleet Feet, which increases your invasion speed when strafing or backpedaling, which we're going to have a little look at in a second. The money, again, also came from the Industrial Revolution DLC, and there's also 5 lockpicks as well, which is on the table behind me. But let's have a look at some of the items we've got here. First of all, we've got this the Sugar Rush, which is move faster for 50%, which is move faster after eating, and then we've got the strafing one. Now, this is the normal strafing speed, and we're not particularly slow in Borderlands, but it does slow you down. Sorry, Borderlands in Bioshock, but we do go slower when moving backwards and slower strafing than when we actually kind of run backwards and forwards. So if we just change over the item here to Fleet Feet, notice the speed increase now when we strafe left and right. Now, you're not in any way kind of sprinting, but it is noticeably quicker, especially when moving backwards. We are a lot more kind of nimble on our feet. In a firefight, that could make a difference, especially if you're kind of being closed down on by lots of things. And if you're trying to get behind those mechanical kind of bad guys, it's quite difficult to get behind to shoot them in the back sometimes, so that could make a difference kind of when you're trying to strafe around them in some way. So useful. Now have a look at that. Look at that massive speed increase after eating that snack. It only lasts for 3 seconds, but that is a noticeably big speed increase. Just do it again. Grab a beer and run. I don't know how useful that's going to be for combat, but certainly I guess when I'm just kind of exploring and trying to get around from place to place, it's quite fun. Now, these bits of gear here are from the early bird DLC, which we're the early bird DLC. So this is the other side of it, and we've got this: the Electric Punch, 70% chance that a melee target is stunned, victim is vulnerable for 4 seconds. This is awesome. Now, I don't find that just a normal melee attack is that powerful, that useful, unless you've got unless you've powered it up in some way. But this ability to stun the majority of the time is absolutely brilliant. I'll show you an example of that later on. Eagle Strike, increased weapon damage by 50% on skylines. Can be useful again if you can kind of jump onto a hook, jump onto a skyline, take some shots at things. 50% damage, especially if you're trying to hit something big down, it's useful. This one, Ammo Advantage, increases the clip size for all weapons by 75%. Now, there is one already in the game that increases it by 50. This one increases it by 75%. And if I just show you at this moment on the pistol, we've got 12 bullets in the chamber by standard. And if I just flip it over, we'll see if once I've turned this on, if I then reload the gun, we've got 21 bullets in the chamber. Very, very nice. And of course, to a big magazine weapon like, I say, a machine gun, that's going to make a huge difference. And we've also got the Ghost Soldier, which is a pair of pants, which is killing with a vigor trap, has a 70% chance to turn the enemy gun becomes a ghostly ally. Now, you saw that briefly in the opening clip, but I'll play that clip again in a second to show you the effects that this kind of cool little item can have. And then, of course, we have these, which are from the early bird DLC, I believe. We have 5 infusions, which I'm going to put all into my salts, but 5 at the very beginning of the game, of course, makes a huge difference to your ability to use various powers or to have stronger shields or higher health. So this is a very nice boost. Now, of course, if you're looking to make things hard for yourself, you might want to avoid these or just skip them, but for those of us that have been through the game once already, having these bonuses early on is very nice to see. So let's take a look at some of these items in action. So we're going to perform a very unscientific test here. I'm just going to attach myself to a skyline and then shoot this guy in the chest. We're deliberately not going to do headshots. And although I shot 5 bullets there, 1 missed, and it took me 4 body shots to kill that guy with a pistol. But now we're going to turn on Eagle Strike, which increases my damage from 50% when I'm on a skyline. Now there is one of these normally in the game, but that only adds 30%, and this adds 50%, which is half as much again. So we're going to add that on. And now when I shoot from the skyline or the skyhook, as I get the aim for a guy in a distance, you'll see that instead of taking me 4 shots in the body to kill him, it actually only takes 3. He was dead before that final shot, which, if you think about once we get towards the tougher enemies, or think about headshots as well, that is going to make a big difference when taking enemies down. Hopefully you've also spotted the lovely gold revolver, which I'm holding. This was part of the early bird DLC, and as I jump down to pick up the machine gun, you'll see that they've also painted the machine gun gold as well. Both weapons have also been given a damage increase, so this is not just a case of just looks, it's looks and power. And of course these bonuses will work together. So if I connect myself to the skyline, I've got the damage bonus of being attached to the skyline and the damage bonus of the machine gun being stronger than it was before. So it really is powering you up quite significantly. You'll see this damage bonus continuing its effect when shooting some of the automated machine guns. I don't know about you, but I first playthrough I really struggled against some of these. Probably just my lack of skill, I'm sure. But now, I mean, look how quickly this machine gun will now take down this automated gun. I mean, it wasn't quite on full health when I started, but it's going down a lot faster, and it's a lot less of a threat to me before we go down. Before it goes down. Now, one of the other pieces of gear that I really like here is the Mele Strike. It adds that electricity, 70% chance of adding that electric stun to it. Now, it doesn't mention a damage increase, but I'm sure these guys weren't going down this fast before. It doesn't work every time, as you saw there. That second one I hit with the strike, and you didn't get it because it's obviously only a 70% chance. But it really does make a difference to the killing speed. But let me show you an example where I think it really comes into its own, and that's against this here fireman. Now, I play this incredibly badly, and I get myself into a situation where I really should be dead. But because this particular strike here stuns him for 4 seconds, I'm able to completely wail away on him, get a second stun, and finish him off. So being able to stun those more powerful enemies just with a melee strike, I think really does make this one one that's worth equipping if you've got the space for it. Just want to show the pistol damage increase from before, again taking it one of those automated robots. I think that was probably about 10 or 12 shots, but either way I'm sure that's going down a lot faster than it was in the first place. Now, to finish this video, if you would indulge me, I would just like to replay the introduction, because this is the Ghost Soldier piece of gear, which has a 70% chance, if you kill an enemy with a vigor trap, that its gun will then become an ally for a few seconds. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a trap right in the middle of these guys. Now, a 70% chance, I mean, you would hope that the majority of these will then will turn into allies. As you can see, I think it only ends up working on 2 of them, but nevertheless, if you look down straight below me, you'll see there are little machine guns floating in midair, which are giving me lots of help against the the opposition. Obviously it's not going to work every time, but it adds another layer of potential strategy when taking down huge mobs. Can you get them to run over a trap, first of all to kill them, but also then that trap then actually start mopping up other people for you as well. It's a nice idea, and overall I think that both of these pieces of DLC are really worth it if you can get your hands on them. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this little guide. If you've got any other suggestions for using this gear, then do stick them in the comments, and do subscribe to the channel, and perhaps follow me on Twitter if you want to see what's coming up next. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.